what else do we got in the Mint Mobile hotline?
Hey, Campea crew. Just your average Jose here. I've noticed that film and TV actors have been diving into video games. Not just their voices, but likeness as well. Angela Bassett and Carrie-Anne Moss did it for Horizon Forbidden West earlier this year, and Richard Schiff plays Odin in the new God of War game. How far are we to seeing a game filled with star-studded actors? And will SAG-AFTRA have to change the way actors get paid when it comes to making these games? Thanks, guys.
All right, Jose, thanks for calling that in. And you're right. There has always been celebrity names, like going all the way back to Wing Commander.
Right.
Remember Wing Commander?
Yeah, and the movie.
Mark Hamill.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
That's right, Freddie did the movie. But in the game, Mark Hamill did one of those. Biff from Back to the Future was in there as well. I mean, so there's a long tradition of that. But you're not wrong. You're starting to see this major uptick in significant, recognizable actors that are doing these things more. And it's not just used to be actors. It's not just actors who used to have a name. It's like current, like Giancarlo Esposito. Was it the Far Cry game?
Far Cry 5,
Far Cry 5, like Giancarlo Esposito?
Far Cry 6.
Stepping in there. Like, we're seeing these completely relevant big names now starting to do it. Do I think there's going to come a time when, like, each game is going to be like each movie where there's 4 or 5 big, legitimately recognizable stars? I'll say this. I hope not. Because much like animated, I would prefer these games to have just like really good, talented voice actors doing it. But once in a while, having the right big name celebrity in it, like a Mike Myers doing the voice of Shrek or something like that, that can be very, very effective and work very well. Like, look at that. Look at Giancarlo there. That can work very, very well. In asking the question, why are we seeing a rise in this? There's a very, very simple answer. Money. A lot of these AAA games now today, first of all, the competitive landscape for the AAA gaming market has grown exponentially. I mean, it's crazy. So money that's getting spent is getting bigger, and you will do anything you can do to get a little bit of a leg up. And how many more copies did that Far Cry game get because Giancarlo Esposito was on the cover of it? Probably significant amount, right? So there's more money being put up. And if you're an actor, you remember we were talking to Chris Carr about this. If you're a performer like that, so wait, basically the extent of what you need me to do is, in the case of Just Voice, you need me to come down to Sunset Boulevard to Raymond's recording and just get in a booth for 2 days and record some dialogue, and you'll cut a check for how much? And then in some cases, some of them will even do some of the motion capture, but even then that's limited. They get because what happens is a lot of times they don't do all the motion capture. What they'll do is they'll get a couple of plates. So they get the actor in there in the motion capture suit to do some basic things like that so they can get their style. And then they can get other actors to replicate it, or they can even just animate or whatever. So even then, most of the time, there are exceptions, but most of the time it's not a big time commitment. You can literally go, well, I've got lunch free for the next few days. I can go down and record this thing for $75,000, for $200,000, or whatever it is they're getting paid. So, Rob, I remember when I was sitting down and talking to Michael Douglas once, and I was asking him, we were talking about his movie Las Vegas. And I'll always remember this answer, because this is one of the best answers I've ever got to something. And I asked him, what was it? Very standard question. I said, what was it about Las Vegas that appealed to you for doing this? Because I love Las Vegas. If you haven't seen it, it's terrific. But so what was it about appealed to you? And he kind of leaned, he took a breath. He says, because here's the thing. This is Michael Douglas. I am an actor for hire. I have my craft. And if somebody needs my craft done and they want to pay my fee, and it looks interesting to me, I'm happy to do it. I am an actor for hire. This is my job. I perform. And I just remember thinking, this is Michael Douglas saying this. I loved that answer. And so when you're looking at this video game stuff, how's it any different? You need a performer? I'm a performer. Here's my rate. Can you pay my rate? And you only need me for what, 2 or 3 days? Bully, let's do it. So I think we are going to see this increase more. I don't think we're going to get to a point where we're going to see 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 huge A-list names or whatever, but I think it is growing. I think it'll continue to grow. Rob, how do you see this evolving, and why do you see?
Well, I think there's two things going on here too. Like a guy like Richard Schiff, who was also in Wakanda Forever, worked for the United Nations.
That's right, very small role, but a good one.
So I think a lot of the time, like I can speak to when we were working on Dota Dragon's Blood, Ashley told me the people that he wanted to hire, he's like, he wanted to get a lot of horror heroes to be voice actors, like John Krasinski, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and he got the voice of Pinhead, Doug Bradley, and he got Ashley Lawrence, and he just hired people that he thought were cool. Like I'm gonna go get all my favorite horror fans, I think, because he wanted to meet them, but they were all like Jeffrey Combs was great. He hired Michael Dorn, who played Worf, just because he liked his voice, and Anson Mount, who's now Captain Pike. He brought in all these people that he liked. In God of War, somebody must be a big West Wing fan. Because I can't imagine that you think to yourself, well, Richard Schiff should play Odin. I can't imagine it's because somebody was a Richard Schiff fan and saw in their mind, like, I'll bet Toby Ziegler could play a Norse god. I bet he could. And so now you're seeing with a lot of these characters, I think the creators of these games, who are all geeks, we're all geeks, right? If you get into positions of power like this, you take your pick and you hire these great voice actors that people might not think about. It's like James Gunn being hired by Kevin Feige to direct a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie after making Slither and Super.
Right.
Feige is probably a big James Gunn fan. And Kevin's like, this guy can tell stories. I'm going to hire him. I like his sensibility. Whereas another studio executive wouldn't do that. So on one hand, I think that's very cool. And second of all, it does, name recognition does help, like you pointed out, sell games. People look at a video game cover with, Giancarlo Esposito has been in everything from The Usual Suspects back in the 90s to Breaking Bad to now he's wielding a dark saber, Gus Fring, obviously. So you now have people that are in positions of power that are hiring these actors because of their cool factor. The fact that people like them. It's like, come play on in my thing. And so it's the creators love it and it makes good economic sense.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Have you also noticed there's been a bit of an uptake in the level of names and the number of names that we see now actually performing voice roles and some motion capture in video games? Do you think that's a trend that's going to continue? If so, what do you attribute that to? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts.
Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months free. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say, it is the perfect time to switch. Since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been spending 1/3 of what I used to spend on my mobile service with the other big name company. And with this buy 3 months, get 3 months free, not only is it a great choice for you, but it makes great gifts for the people you love. Mint Mobile's best offer of the year is here. By going online only and with eSIM and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes those significant savings on to you. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a selected device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea.